Hello, Drax Fantastic here. We're going to talk about a game called Endzone 2, which always kind of reminds me of American football. I played the first one. You know, it's a survival colony builder, so right up my alley. I enjoyed the first one. I played a lot of it. And so when I got the chance to play the second one, I was like, oh, all right, sweet. And to be honest, my first playthrough, I was like, it's not a whole lot different than the first one. And I thought, you know what? That's not bad. The first one's very good. They've refined the story. There's a much bigger world. It's a really, if you're into this kind of game, if you're into city builders and colony builders and survival, like, it's very good. I would almost say it's sort of like the bar for these games. Today, let's jump in, show you the beginning of the game, show you some of the new mechanics, you know, roam around a little bit, you know, survive, build a colony. All right, let's do it.
Hi, it's Drax. This is the part at the beginning of the video that everyone skips. For those of you that didn't jump forward, enjoy watching and listening. Might you consider supporting me further by visiting my Ko-fi or clicking on the join button on this video? All right, that's it. Back to the video.
All right, so we're gonna click new game. We've got a couple of different options here. Tutorial, which I've done. Normally I do the tutorial, but today we're just gonna go survival mode. In survival mode, you can configure your game according to your own needs and then choose the variety of challenges. So that's not in there yet. So we're gonna do survival mode. We have easy, medium, difficult, maximum challenge. Oh, and there's just building mode, which is fun. I like this where you can do sort of a creative mode in these games. For a content creator, it's great because you can, you know, you can do what you want and you can get that perfect shot. All right, hold on. We're gonna change it to easy. Map settings. I'm not going to change any of this. Game settings, display help text, yep, uncover map, resource consumption. So a lot of options in here. We can unlock all the technologies, unlock all the seeds, rain, drought, disease. Yeah, and so like the survival part of this is radiation, disease, like the world, you know, it's post-apocalyptic kind of thing. All right, so let's say new game. I mean, you can tell by like the graphics, right? The world has come to an end.
Several resources are located in the bus. They will be sufficient for a while, but sooner or later we have to find a place that can be settled. Search for a place that offers more support for life than this wasteland.
The voice acting in this game, top notch. They've really done an amazing job. Almost everything is voice acted, so it's really great. Global information telling us up here, even without the tutorial, it's guiding us along. This bus is new, and I was a little skeptical the first time, but I've grown to love it, and I think it's a lot of fun. And it adds a whole new dimension to the game that I'm not quite sure I've seen in a colony survival city builder before. Got it. Vehicle controls. Got it. Zone attributes. Got it. The resources in the bus will be sufficient. Yep, we already got that.
Found a new zone.
All right.
Take a look at it when you get a
Perfect.
chance.
All right, I will.
It might be worth it to build a new settlement on it.
It might be worth it to build a new settlement. Like what? So if we don't build a new settlement there, we just sit here in the bus. There's the bus. Look at how cool it is. The graphics, I enjoy them, but I'm going to tell you, I've come off of playing a bunch of different games that have varying graphics, and the first 20 minutes of play, the first time I played, I was sort of like, it's very hard to like see. It's gritty, it's post-apocalyptic, so it's supposed to look like that, but it took me a minute to sort of get my head around it. Now that I've played it a while, I'm like, oh, okay. All right, so to move the little truck.
Engine running.
Engine running.
All clear.
All clear. And we could have searched this, I think we can come back
Got
here.
it.
And you can see where it says loot ruin. I don't know if we have enough. Oh, we're a little full on scrap, but we could take what was in there. I really enjoy how simple it is to roll up onto stuff. And once we find the colony, then we can take the Pathfinder out and like just loot and loot and loot. Let's go. All right, we're rolling up here. I've jumped forward so that you don't have to just deal with me driving. But as we get close here, if you look at the map, the mini map down here, you can see that there's a bunch of water. And so if we kind of scroll around, we can leave the truck behind, and we can scroll around and look. And we want to definitely settle next to some water because we're going to need water to drink. And then these old towns can be scrapped out. So If you play the tutorial, which you probably will the first time, it runs you through all of this. And it's very helpful, but it does slow the gameplay down a lot. And see, once we got close to saying, hey, look, you can build a new settlement. So if we click here.
Now we need a place where we want to build our town center.
And what that's going to do is it builds this little building here that allows the truck to, it's basically a garage. And so you need this before you can build a town center. And now we can come in here and say, where do we want to put the town center? I'm going to put it right here. And then it's going to say in the middle of the bottom edge of the screen, you'll find most important entry points. Got it. Here's the entry point here. See access point, storing a bunch of stuff. This is where we can transfer stuff in and out of the truck. Here's the guy back up talking again. And now we need to get to work on getting the basic essentials. And if we look at the HUD, we can see this game does an excellent job. Let's go ahead and pause it. This game does an excellent job of giving you all the information you need. It is one of the highlights for me. I talk about this a lot in the games that I play. I play so many games and so many early access games where you're like, just give me the information I need. And if we like hover on water, look, it says this is water. It tells you how much you have in stock. It tells you how much we're turning over per day, right? And then buildings producing the water. And even just looking at it, you can see there's a little red arrow down saying, hey, we're losing it. So just at a glance, you can say, oh, we better get on the water thing. Food for the same thing. And then wood, scrap, plastic. And these are basically the building blocks of the game. And then this stuff's not unlocked yet. And then we can see state of health, overall confidence, radioactivity, which we're probably not going to get into today, thankfully. And then you've got available workers, which is another amazing thing. Like, how many games do you play where you're like, how many available? You got to hover on something or look at something. This is how many people you've got ready to work. This is how many people are in the colony next to it. Adults, and then children, which we don't have any. And I always think that the children icon, and maybe it looks like a guy with a hat. It looks like a guy, I don't know, it looks like a little, like a spy almost. If this red icon. The first time I played, I was like, we're going to get spies? In the bottom left, you can see there's more information. The mini map, clay, fertility. This is telling us what's available in this area. Expeditions, which we're going to talk about. Settlements, research panel, which we're going to get to here in a minute as well. And then we can go back to transport routes, or something new in the game, which are a lot of fun. And then events. So let's do some building. If we come down here to the middle, the last section, we've got construction. Oh, and it's going to tell us the construction menu mode is for individual buildings. I got it. And we're going to build a jetty. And if we come over here, and then we can R to rotate. And let's get it into the water. And it's going to look to make sure that we've got enough building materials to build it. It says it's waiting for builders. So if we hit the unpause button, then they should start sending some dudes out. I love this too. Look at this. It shows you, if you highlight what's being built, it shows you the people, where they're coming from and how long and their route to get there. How many games have you played where you're like, wait, what's happening? Where are they? How long are they going to take? Brilliant. They took, Endzone was a very good game. This is a developer who understands these games, understands like what you're looking for. There's not a lot of things that are left to like, what's going on? Like, it's very, very good. And then we're going to see like, if we couldn't build this, there'd be like a question mark saying, hey, you need some more materials, or it kind of draws your eye to what the problem is and what do you need to do next. It's great. All right, so we need some houses. Let's build a couple of those. And then roads are very important in this game, so we'll keep track of that. And we'll do boop, boop, boop. And then I just realized we're gonna need to probably get some wood. Hi. Wood cutting lodge, scrapyard. When building these sorts of buildings, we can put them close to where we're going to do, but also remember that this is one of those games where, and I love this too, is that when you put down a resource thing, you can put this down and then we can move where it's going to check the resources later, and I'll show you that. It's great. So let's build that. And I don't know, can we demolish building? This is the work radius. So we can actually come in here and say, hey, you know what? Let's move the work radius to more of those. So good. So good. Prioritize this building. We're prioritized when assigned to workers. We don't want to do that. All right. So let's go. Look at how quickly they built those houses. Now it's saying, hey, look, there's no workers available. Would you like to assign some workers? Yeah, I'd love to. So let's assign 2, and then we should immediately see, do you see the little green arrow on the water, like pop right up? Now we're producing enough water. What else do we want to do? Let's build a scrapper. What this is going to do is it's going to pull scrap from these other buildings. And we can see there's a huge settlement here. I almost want to put the scrapper like right in the middle here. And remember, we can move the radius for the scrapper as well. And you can see they've already put people out there. All right, the wood people are going. Let's do 2 of those. That's producing enough. We need to deal with food as well. Plantation is for fiber. Also, each one of these cards has such amazing information. Numbers within the settlement, 0. So you can see how many of these do I have built already? Produce resources, fiber and natural latex, construction cost, required subsoils, building efficiencies, external influences, like so good. There's a bunch of buildings that require other buildings to produce at a higher rate. And so like putting buildings next to other buildings helps. Just like you're just piling on the good feelings about this game, right? We can forage hut or fishery. Let's build a fishery first. Build it next to the water. And I think we'll build a foraging hut as well. You can see it also has, maybe we'll put it right next to the. If resources are missing when an attempt to place the building, it will automatically be placed as a blueprint. And as soon as sufficient resources are available, the construction work can get started manually. Okay. And if we look here, you can see this button, not enough building materials. When we get enough, we'll come back and press this button. So we just need more wood. And I'm probably going to move this to be like right there. All right. And now if we look, we're still producing enough wood. We're still producing enough wood. Drax has built a lot all of a sudden, right? I still think it's a little hard to see some of these buildings. And I don't know if that's just me. If you've played the game and you feel the same, maybe there's a graphics setting that I could tune a little bit to make things pop a little bit more. Sometimes it feels like it's still faded away and just faded a bit into like the environment. And it could just be a design choice, right? We got 9 workers. That brings our scrap up. I'm just going to assign 1 for now. They're building a fishery. There's day-night too. Look at this. Doing some cook fires. Great sound design too. I wish there was more camera angles. I can't stand that you can't get down there and like look straight ahead, but that's a personal preference thing. All right, they built the fishery. So let's put 1 in there and see what that does to the food. There we go. Now it turned around. We can see we're producing more than we need. That's cool. If we click here, now we can see, hey, look, we've got enough of the wood. We can hit construction. It'll start building. I like that. Instead of like, basically it holds off and just starts accumulating the products instead of like just rushing 1 here and 1 there. Another great design, another great game design. I feel like I need to be reminded, like the next time I play one of these where I'm like, gosh, what is the one? It's going to be like Endzone, everybody. Endzone. That's the game that did it right. If we go through here, let's see, number of settlements, plastic produced for scrap. Probably should do that. Plantation, we're going to need fibers. So now if we come in here, this has to do with soil. So we're going to need to put this in a green area. Let's put it right there. And it's saying it's missing requirements, which is wood. We haven't talked about Drax's favorite thing in the world, which is roads. Roads cost tools. We've got 21 of those. So maybe let's start building some tools before. Maybe let's start building some tools. Let's build a workshop. And then we'll start building mass amounts of roads. I'm going to put it right here. And we're going to build a warehouse too. Here. And it says we're low on scrap. But we're meeting the basics, right? So as long as you're meeting the basics, you're going to be cool. You can do 1 worker there. Looks like we're a little bit, could probably produce a little bit more water. We got an extra worker there. You know, as long as food and water are coming in the early part of the game, you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. let's talk about material depots. Boosts the storage capacity of materials, increases production of all buildings in the vicinity that produce the materials. So if we click this and we put one like right here, this is basically going to hit like, you know, honestly, if we come and put it like right here, we're going to hit all of these buildings with a bonus. So instead of having to walk all the way back to some place, they're going to walk to this storage facility. So it's really cool. Let's put that there. What are we low on? Scrap. Maybe we probably assign, how many workers do we have? 7. Let's just assign all 5 to here. Auto saving. We missed it, but in the top left corner here, there's a little thing that's going to come up saying, hey, I'm about to save. Would you like to save now or wait? So that you can kind of, because it does stop the game for a minute. It's a thrower. If you're not paying attention like I wasn't, it throws you out of like the game for a second. The thing to remember when you're like running low on people is just start building more houses, because more people then will find their way in. How many tools do we have? 18. I want to show you the roads. Connecting the roads will help everything kind of move a little bit faster. And it's really easy to build them. I dig it. I dig it. How many do I have? 15. We're making tools, it looks like. I think as we go through, we'll build more. There we go. And can we do this? All right. And roads give buffs to the building as well. Being connected to a road, being connected to the town center and connected to the houses and connected, like they actually have a purpose. And there's so many games where it gives you a little buff, or they're just kind of, they're there. This game is one of the games where like it really does. It behooves you to build the roads. All right, let's jump in the bus. I'm at the wheel. And let's kind of look around here. We're not necessarily close to, we passed a bunch of buildings on the way here. Yeah, let's go down.
On my way.
Let's drive over here and kind of raid some of these buildings and see if we can't get a research point. We say loot ruin. And now we can just like collect up all this stuff.
On my way.
On my way. All right. I think that like at first the little sayings are cute, but after you click about your millionth time, you're like, I don't know. Got it? It reminds me of a 90s game.
All clear.
Like, I don't know, Age of Empires or something. When you click on the unit and you're like, we're going, moving out. Moving out. Maybe it's Command and Conquer. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
On my way.
All right, and here's some shadowy lands. We need to find something that we can start an expedition on so we can get some research points.
Let's go.
Looting of these buildings used to be different. You used to just cut up a cutscene and you'd send out an expedition, and it wasn't as like, it wasn't as hands-on. And so this really makes it feel like you're a part of it, right? Got it? Start expedition. All right, here we go.
There's a converted buggy standing in this garage. We ought to take a closer look at it. The best would be if we try to lower the car lift somehow.
So we can see at the top of the screen, abandoned car service center, total progress of the building. So this is just like from Endzone 1, where you could like, have you seen the entire area? And did we get any research points out of it? And so this becomes sort of a point and click game where we just collected 3 copper. And so you kind of got to go around and look to see if there are things that you can search. All right. And it's not always the best camera angle. And I was a little, to be honest, I was a little iffy on this at the very beginning too, but then I was like, you know what? It's kind of fun. I don't know that I've ever seen.
On the road.
I don't know if I've ever seen another colony city builder that does this sort of thing. All right. Then once you come inside the building, you'll be able to see inside. And
I'll take a look.
We can search this. Then we can, I think we can come up here.
Let's go.
Let's go. All right, we got a knowledge point, which is what I wanted to do. We can search this too. We got a blowtorch and a lockpick. Good stuff. Now we can come back down. And then I think let's click here.
As long as the car lift is raised, we can't examine the vehicle.
All right, so click click here.
This control unit needs power in order to work.
So we need to find a generator, and I don't think we're gonna find one in here, but I have, in my other game, I found one, and then I just carried that generator with me, and every time I came across something like this, I was able to just run the generator and turn it on. So it's sort of like, it adds some...
On the road!
Yeah, now we're like, okay, in this one, in the abandoned crew one, once we find the generator, we'll come back, and we'll bring the car down. And will we get the car? I hope so. I hope so.
Let's go.
Let's go. All right. And then if we click on the bus, we can end the expedition, and we can say we want to take all of the stuff we got. That's the important part. It looks like we're full up. I want this copper more than I want wood. So we'll do that. So pay attention, right, on what you're taking. We've already got 150 wood in there. End expedition. And we can probably move just a little bit. Where are we going? Loot this last one and then turn around. All right, so let's go back. And then the beauty of this is that we don't have to watch it go all the way back. We can just say click here. And now the car will come all the way back to the access point, and then we can move the stuff over. We can actually close that, and he'll keep trucking back. He'll keep trucking back. All right, we're low on plastic, so let's build the plastic thing. And let's put it over here in construction row. This one's saying, hey, Rex, do you want to put somebody in the coal thing? I sure do. This is full. With just at a glance at the top of the screen, we can see, hey, we're doing good on all of our like key matrices, right? All right, let's build that. We got a research point. I think we'll end on the research point, so I can just show you that part of it. We've shown you expeditions. We've shown you how the car works. We've got a good settlement running. And then to research, you just click on here. So to get research points, you've got to get out there in the world and explore and find things. It's a really cool way of doing it, right? I can't stress it enough how much fun it is. I know we're gonna need clay next, but you can choose what you want to do. And if we click here, it unlocks it, and then we should be able to say, we should be able to do clay next. Drax. Should be able to do clay next. But we're gonna need 50 wood and 15 tools. So it's sort of the best of both worlds when it comes. We've done a bunch of these research trees, right? Where it's like, you need points to do it, or you need these to do it. This is sort of doing both. Not only going to need points, but you're also going to need to get more resources to unlock the next thing. So I enjoy this. It's a pretty big research tree. We've got some other things in here. There's multiple settlements. I guess we should talk about that. We can put together enough people to then start another settlement, and then we can trade between the settlements. Certain parts of the map have certain things you need to build. And so so you think, oh, you know what? I don't want to do another settlement. You have to do another settlement. It's going to force you to do another settlement. And it's fun. It really is. And then the little truck drives between the two of them. Expeditions we talked about. Research is great. Transport routes is the whole route back and forth. You'll see that. There's no events. If you haven't played Endzone 1 and you're thinking, well, play this game. If you're into city builders, if you're into post-apocalyptic good times, the game's really going to open up, and we're going to have to build gas masks, and there's going to be radiation, and the water's going to have problems. And so I think pacing-wise, it does a really good job of saying, hey, get comfortable, get started. And then as we move along, it begins to ramp up and becomes a lot more challenging. I also have it on easy, so it's very forgiving, which, for me is very nice. The game's called Endzone 2. It's out now. Go check it out. Trust me, you will not be disappointed. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.
The video's over. Now it's time for you to do your part. Follow, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.